Let's talk about my topic, afforestation using drones. Now, what is the outline? So the outline is first topic, afforestation overview and challenges faced. I would cover these both points in the top in afforestation topic, and then drone planting. I would cover what is it, types of drone used, and drone planting steps and its benefits. What are the benefits of drone planting? And at the end, I would tell about future work. So, what can be the future work we would be doing, like after afforestation. In the overview, I have written the problems due to deforestation and advantages of afforestation. So I think that you would be knowing all of these, but I could say some of these. So problems due to deforestation, global warming, increased amount of carbon dioxide, soil erosion, destruction of forest habitat, droughts and heat waves, etc. And the advantages of afforestation are it helps resolve the problem of climate change, increase greenery, prevents soil erosion, improves watershed, and etc. So, what are the challenges in afforestation? First point is that the manual process of planting is too slow. So it's around 3,000 seeds per day per farmer. So one farmer can only plant about 3,000 seeds per day, and that you would be thinking that it's so much, but I will cover it later. And it requires a lot of labor and resources, and that's why it's expensive. So manual planting takes around rupees 150 per tree, which is very much expensive, and because of a lot of labor's requirement and resources, it is hard to plan and execute. And some places where we can't reach, so means it is difficult to reach for us. We can't plant trees over there. Difficult to plant trees where human reaches stuff. And the last but not the least, manual reforestation is not easy to achieve. So per year we cut around 15 billion trees and only plant about 8 billion trees. So there is a loss of 6 billion trees per year, which is very much. Now, how do we overcome these challenges? So now my idea is drone planting. So drone planting, now the first thing which will come into your mind is, what is drone planting? So I am going to tell it. Drone is an acronym for dynamic remotely operated navigation equipment. Drones can be used for rapid afforestation and deforestation by firing seed pods. So as you can see in this image, the drone is firing seed pods into the soil. It has accuracy and speed while planting the trees. So it is very fast and it has accuracy. So drone planting is useful, and it potential to plant over 1 billion trees with a group of 60 drones in 1 year. So about 60 drones can plant over 1 billion trees within a year. Human operator controls drone navigation and can manage multiple drones at a time. So only one human operator can control multiple drones at a time, which is very useful. So there are three main types of drones. One of them is mapping drone, the second one is tree planting drone, and the last one is spraying drone. So mapping drone collects data to determine best places for planting trees and to monitor the well-being for the plants which are growing. So mapping drone is like Google Earth, not Google Earth, we can say, but a small Google Earth. So it can only like collect data about the city or and tell where are the best places for planting trees, and it can also monitor the well-being for the plants which are growing. Now, tree planting drones. So from the name only, you could tell that tree planting drone would like fire like seedlings or pots, but seedling and pods into the ground, and you are right. But it doesn't fire seedling. It fires biodegradable pods filled with nutrients and a germinated seed at the area which was determined by the mapping drone. And at the last, it's spraying drone, which sprays nutrients to plants regularly for the first crucial years. So specifically for the first 2 to 3 years, spraying drone is very useful because it sprays nutrients for the plants who are not adult and growing. Now, what are the steps for drone planting? So, the first step is drone mapping drones, as you read. Fly across a specific area, collecting data about soil conditions and determining location where we can plant trees. And then the most efficient planting pattern for that area is calculated using algorithms. So the most efficient planting pattern is calculated from algorithms. Then we build pre-germinated seed pods with fertilizer nutrients, and the seeds will be of 10 different species to build healthy ecosystem. So only one species would not build that much healthy ecosystem, and there would be some problems. So we thought about 10 different species which would build healthy ecosystems, and then load these seed pods into the tree planting drone. As you know, that tree planting drone will then fire seeds into the ground, and it would we would use tree plant like we would plant trees mostly around monsoon season, because as you know, in monsoon season there is more rain. So there is we are thinking about it for maximum growth chances. Then flying at a height of 1 or 2 meters, the tree planting drone would fire biodegradable seed pods straight into the ground, and when because of the force, it throws from 1 or 2 meters, it break upon because of the impact, and then allowing the germinated seed a chance to take root. And at the last, monitor growth. So spraying drone are used to remove weeds and provide nitrogen and other nutrients for the best chance of success. After planting, the mapping drones do low-level flights to assess the health of the sprouts and saplings. So we monitor growth through spraying drone and mapping drone. And at the right hand side, you can see the small process of drone planting, the steps. Now, what are the benefits of drone planting? So, I think some of the benefits you would be knowing that, like it's fast, and the accuracy is nice. And the first point also covers that we will be able to plant more seeds than human in less time. The pods can be planted 10 times faster per drone than seedlings can be planted. So pods are planted 10 times faster per drone than seedlings can be planted. It can plant at a rate of 1 tree per second, and it is around 100,000 trees in a month, which is very much. And then it's cheaper than hand planting as less resources consumed. Uh, pods can be created in huge amounts within a month, and at 30% the cost of a manual seedling, it is around rupees 40 per tree. And at when you heard over there, manual planting cost around rupees 150 per tree. So there is a 30% the cost of a manual seedling. Pods consume less energy and water and have a lower environmental impact. Trees can be planted in hard to reach areas. This technology can be used globally and help our planet. So some countries are using drone planting, but we are thinking that the whole world use drone planting for our planet to be healthy. And now the future work. Now the future work can be, we could use solar panels, can be used for supplying energy to drones. Google Earth can be used, as you know, Google Earth used to find potential spaces where we can plant trees. So Google Earth can be used to see potential areas all over the world where we could plant trees. Thermal sensors can be used to detect possible forest fires and scan for areas where afforestation and drone planting is needed. And the use of AI, artificial intelligence, and satellite imagery, as you can see in the right hand side, which would lead to faster identification of threats like pest infestation, etc. And it would be able to predict where deforestation is likely to occur. And at the end, we can use IoT devices, Internet of Things devices, which will monitor the real time monitoring of the trees functions and well-being. So as you can see in the right hand side again, there are all the steps of the IoT devices which can be used. Now these are some of the references which I took from the internet.